So what's been going on?
You know what? I was just thinking about this before our call in terms of everything that's always going on in my life, but which isn't a big deal because it's things I've sought out. But the last 3 or 4 weeks, just gradually getting into a funk. And the things that are happening are, well, I guess what I'm unable to do is just move. I get out, I force myself to go on bike rides, I try to get good sleep. I'm tired, I listen to my body, I take a nap. But man, I can just keep sleeping forever. Really, textbook depression symptoms. But I've got good connection and good good, I guess, social connection and what I think are essentials for, the good sleep, good movement, good nutrition, good connection, good spirituality, which just isn't cutting it. And then what's happening in life is I'll just not in any order, but a good friend of mine died, and it wasn't sudden. It was fast though. He had a type of brain cancer that moved quickly. So he went from fully functional a few months ago to not fun to disappearing, and had his funeral on Saturday, which was just a reminder.
Yesterday,
Yeah,
Saturday?
sorry, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So just that reminder of all hearing, being reminded of who he was to people, and just not having him in my life again. Um, and then having my kids are with their mom, and we had some conversations lately with, and I don't want to divulge too much on
Right.
behalf of whichever kids might be struggling, and she weaponizes it against me, though it's not related. She'll link it back to things that are 10 or 15 years ago. And it hurts. And I've pursued so much therapy, and what I always bring back is something my therapist had said, one of my therapists had said years ago, which was stop getting angry with her and start feeling sorry for her, because it's her projecting her unhappiness and wanting to bring you down to her level. So I try to rationalize all these things, but it's knowing that if that's what she's saying to me, and certain behaviors I'm witnessing, although I spent the day with my kids today, um, the what's being said
Can
in the background, what's being done, what's the passive aggressive shit
can
that's being
can I
played.
can I ask you one thing? Because you do that a lot. You seem to want to rationalize everything
True.
and give everything an explanation.
Yes.
And it's absolutely exhausting. It can be, this I remember, after my breakup, um, as I was writing the book, trying to rationalize everything. And I'm about to give you some advice, but what I'm telling you is contradictory. But it went 9 months go by, and it just did never made sense. And it was just tearing me apart from the inside out, how everything changed and the way nothing made any sense at all. And this is why I go back to, you have to have the truth. But the cocaine, I found out about the cocaine like 9 months after the end of the relationship. And then that was the missing, that was the missing variable. It all, it all made sense after I found out, that was the missing variable. That was what was throwing everything off. But, you know, in and that's why I'm saying it's contradictory. It's like there's some things though that you don't have to rationalize. Like your ex-wife, for instance, in that situation, her trying to drag you down, and why she who? why she would do that. It's not on you to understand that. It's she's not going to change, right? It's not your responsibility to try and get her to change. That's a part of your past. Just there are so many things that's just an example of one of the things. Just let it be. Just let it go. Like
And
that.
this is this. I have a challenge with this. This is
Yeah.
I absolutely have a tendency to have to understand everything and understand why, what the stimulus, why is it happening, what's the impact, how do I navigate it, and which is I try to tell myself to breathe and surrender, but I need to hear more on this. Like,
So
how can I help myself?
your energy is too valuable to the people around you to for you to tear yourself apart over trying to rationalize things that don't really have much benefit. You're like, like if you understand, if you understand that, does it really help you? Like, does it serve you? Does it serve anybody else? Is it? I know it's easier said than done when you want to make sense of everything, but it would serve. What would really serve you is being able to let go of that kind of stuff and just go. I'm going to put that in the I don't know and I don't care jar. It be it,
And I'm gonna
and
I'm gonna take notes on this.
just leave it over there and just let it be because you have all these other jars where you do need to care, right? And that stuff needs to be getting your energy.
And you're
Um,
right. I'm fucking exhausted. Like this is ex it's exhausting. And
but
just being able to let go is
I feel like right now you should put your energy in. And this is another thing that's much easier said than done, but you just lost a very close friend. And that coming to grips with that, yeah, I'm sure that's why it's everything else is being tugged so much harder because of that. But if you could come to terms with that, and that's not an easy thing to do. But I think you do it. The best thing to do when you're feeling down is exactly what you want to do, which is helping other people. That's the best thing you can do whenever you're feeling down and depressed is just start to give back. And then the people will give back to you and you'll be building that genuine human connection with somebody. And that's going to provide more than anything you could internalize and rationalize on your own. So giving this situation, if it's me, I would reconnect with which I'm sure you've done this and you're doing it, but you know, connect with the other people that loved him as well and just spend some time in that space, um, adding value to those people. You will probably find some peace there somehow together. I don't
Mhm.
know where else you could find peace for that, for those feelings than with the people who loved him the most.
That's true. Even after the funeral, just gathering together and sharing sharing really great stories about the past, things that happened, the crazy events that occurred in his life, and and how he navigated it, and what brought us all together. Um, yeah,
So was
that's
he prepared? Was he prepared for this? I mean,
yeah, as prepared as he could be. He was, but he also was. he never showed weakness. He always, everything was good. Everything was going to be okay. He always, there was a way. There, he, even though I don't know whether that was his way of coping, if that really was him, but what he always showed, and what I always saw in him was nothing's too big of a deal.
Hmm.
So was he prepared? I'd say as prepared as you could be.
Well, he seemed from the little bit that I know, he seems like a great man and very, I mean, you said this is something that he knew was coming.
Yeah.
And if he was able to make peace with it, I'm sure he spoke about that with his wife,
Hmm.
with others, and you know, understanding his words around that may be helpful. If he was able to, I could die today and I would be okay with it. Like, so, and it's just, there's just stuff that's happened in my life where I've already, I haven't met, I don't even know if you know about this medical condition, but, um, if he was prepared and he spoke about it to other people, I don't know. I don't know what's out there. I don't know what's out there amongst the people that love him, but there may be some freedom from all of this within that group of people for all of you, not just you, for all of you.
That let's come back to the that death element. And I'm at peace with dying. Not because that's a direction I'm headed. I don't fear death. I know that really all that matters are my kid. My kids are cared for, and well, what matters are my parents as well. They've lost one child. I'd hate for them to have to lose another, but those are my only concern. I've lived a really fulfilled life, but why why was it that you came around to that?
Well, I've had a medical condition since I was 13 that I've had to manage my whole life. And so I have seizures. I have grand mal seizures. And every time I have one of those seizures, I can feel it coming
Okay.
and it feels like death every time. It's just like I start losing control of my body. I can't think straight. I can't speak. And it lasts for a while. And it just feels, it's like I feel slowly losing control of my body and just shutting down. And I'm awake during the process. I mean, it feels like it's like if you could feel yourself dying, that's what it feels like. So
Shit.
so known for a long time, and I've known for a long time that I could die from this. But then, but even bigger. So I've came to grips with that, but that was inside. That was just me alone. That was my own pride, my own ego coming to grips with it. As I've reduced my pride and ego and embraced Christianity, I don't know if I had a very spiritual moment, um, which I was already a believer my whole life, but it's really ramped up, and I'm not afraid of death. To the to the Honestly, the last time I had one of those seizures, as I felt myself losing it, I prayed and asked Jesus to not wake me up. Cause I'm just,
Wow.
yeah, I was like, God, because I lose it, I start to lose everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready to come see you, bro. Like, I'm tired of this. Um, but anyway, yeah, I woke up and here I am. But, um, I firm believer in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and I would hate to leave my son, but I'm okay with it, man. I know I'm good. I know I know I'm golden. So, and that is so empowering, when I hear you, when I heard you saying it and speaking it, and when you hear others who say that with confidence, those are different level people. Every time it's like, and then you look back at what you know about that person and how they choose to live their life and the things they do on a daily basis. It's like once you reach that level, you're just kind of a higher level person overall. So all of that thinking was driving the me back to have you go back to his loved ones. If he had reached that point and had those conversations with some other people, there could be peace there.
I agree because I definitely felt it in the conversations. But what you just said brought me back to what you said previously about letting go. If I'm, it's funny because death is that most extreme milestone in life. It's the end or what people fear. People fear death
Or the beginning.
or the beginning. What do you mean?
I'm weird, dude.
Oh, I mean extreme moment. Oh, in terms of yeah, the start. Is it the beginning
No,
or
it's
is it the beginning as in that's where life continued? What do you mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But look behind me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
coming back to that acceptance, you accept death, right? It's death and taxes. They're inevitable. So stop rationalizing. How would you connect that with what I'm trying to rationalize? Because you're right. I'm
if it
feel like I'm fucking torturing myself. I'm torturing
if
myself
it
trying to rationalize things that don't have any impact in my day-to-day life. In this very moment, it doesn't change anything. It's something that's
you,
happened.
you have a
And
responsibility. You have a responsibility and you have a purpose. And that's to help all these men that are listening to us. That is your greatest value. That is your point. That's what you're doing here. Anything that doesn't contribute to that, you also have a duty to just set it to the side and just let it be because it's not contributing to you and your purpose overall, and it's taking you away. It's taking you away from it.
that's it. That's what I fucking needed to hear. I think that was the switch. Is this is what's my mission? What's my purpose? Why do I do what I do? And that's
And
funny.
it almost you can't be everything to everyone. Nobody can be everything to everyone. It's impossible. So stick to your plan and your purpose and your mission. Um, that don't mean you're going to be a dick to everybody that's not a part of it. You can still be cordial and nice, but
Mhm.
but it's just you can't be everything to everyone. So you need to put your energy where it suits you, and you don't have to feel guilty about it as long as your purpose is helping others. You're providing value, you're spreading love, you're not being selfish, you're putting your energy where the world needs it, where the people around you, the people who care about you, need you the most. That's where your energy's got to be going. It doesn't help you or anyone who loves you to understand why your ex-wife is being some kind of way. It doesn't suit anybody. You you've been down those roads. Just put that in a jar. Just put it over here in the jar and just forget about it. Just let it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be solved.
No, no, that's right. It's and a couple things, two things you said in the last minute was can't be everything to everyone. And to just put it aside, it's funny to for somebody who I don't who've just been peace and clear and just watch from the sidelines and don't get impacted from this nonsense. But I think maybe just getting hit in a vulnerable state
Yeah.
this has just fucking knocked me off my game in a big, big fucking way where it's that stuff's in the past. I'm over it, but then it's still you still get sucked back even when you're a person that helps others deal with this shit and boom, you're fucking neutralizing your effectiveness in helping others because I can't help myself because I got off track.
You're just a problem solver. I mean, you are a problem solver. You're a man, a good one. That's what we do. And you feel like you're this close to figuring out this one problem. And if you could just get that little splinter out of your side, you would feel a little bit better. But fuck it, there's so many bigger things besides this tiny little split.
No,
Like,
you're right. You're right. And that's it, right? Because I'm a problem solver. This is what I do every day for others is solve problems. And I want to solve it, but all problems aren't meant to be solved. It's
right,
let it
right.
go.
Yeah,
It's
you've
like
got
getting a scratch on your car. Your car is 10 years old. Are you going to fix it or are you just going to let it go? Although, yeah, you just have to let it go. And in transparency, this is something I've struggled over my life is change. Although I always inflict change on myself and I struggle through it. But because there's a desire, I initiated and reminding myself of it, it's pushing that pain away. But change that's inflicted on me where it wasn't my choice. I've had a hard time. And then I ruminate over it. And so these are areas that I know I'm not alone in, especially for us who have tendencies to, some people call it overthinking, who tend to over analyze and spend too much time thinking about things is a total drain of energy. And being able to just breathe and surrender and then come back to what's my mission? What is what is it that I'm doing? And ultimately it's to help others, it's to serve and move forward.
so this is how I do it. So when when those conversations come up or those problems or those little nagging things come up, yeah, I see I can cut it off. I see where the conversation's going, and I just go, you know, hey, I don't think this conversation is going to suit either one of us. Let's just not go down that road. Um, if you do really want to suit it, if you do really want to address it, we can address it together. We can pray about it. We can take it to the priest and let's go do it together.
Mhm.
But I don't really see it either of us benefiting from this. So let's just not even go down it. Unless you want to do it together, let's do it. And usually whenever you put even the smallest amount of accountability back on someone else, they don't want anything to do with it.
It's true.
But if she doesn't want to put any energy into it, then it must not be that important. So why are you putting any energy into it?
Very true. And a line I use when it gets into that, this is getting off topic, or we don't need to get into that, instead of asking why you bringing this up, just keep it simple. And I say, I don't think that's productive right now,
Yeah,
or this isn't productive. So
right,
that's
right.
another good reminder. No, Michael, I appreciate this. I even feel the shift in my body. And I think this is what was weighing me down. And I've had this sense of the sniffles, just that overwhelm and my nervous system being impacted because my head's not on straight and how it impacts the rest of my day-to-day life in terms of me not cleaning up, me just not having the mental energy to do the basic shit around my life because I'm just exhausted and have limited bandwidth. And it's because I may not be consciously thinking about the things in the moment, but subconsciously it's there. And when I pause, it comes up. And
Yeah,
it's torture. It's
yeah.
fucking torture.
Yeah.
And I hope any for the other guys listening, I really fucking hope people get something out of this because I know just how hard this is for me and how much work I've done professionally, physically, spiritually to be able to try to overcome this and still just get bogged down and shut down and unable to move. And I'm really happy that we've got this forum, our dynamic relationship where you're able to guide me on this.
Yeah, I think obviously the impact of losing your friend is probably the biggest. Man, our minds are powerful. Our minds are, it's why I spend so much time on mindset during the program. Our minds are so much more powerful than we don't give them credit. I always tell this story when I talk about how powerful our minds are because it blows me away to think about this. So my oldest memory is a dream. Okay. So that doesn't hardly make any sense in itself. Like it didn't even really happen. And it's like, where is that stored? What
Mm,
energy is keeping that alive? My oldest memory was my first nightmare, the first nightmare I ever had, you know.
okay.
So I think I was like 5, and the nightmare went like this. I was playing in the street, and then my mom's face was in the window, like way down the street, and her face was disfigured for some reason. To this day, I cannot stand disfigured faces in horror movies. But in my dream, it like zoomed up real fast, and she screamed at me, and it's like,
Oh, fuck.
"Oh, you think you're ugly? Look at me." Telling you that story is eliciting the same fear response. I've got hairs on the back of my neck. It didn't do it to you.
Well, I got chills, and I think wherever I've got
Oh,
psoriasis, it's got really itchy.
so that is a 35-year-old or 40-year-old memory of
Mm,
a dream that never happened. Still to this day, my brain responds with the same fear stimulus as if somebody was come busting through the door right now.
yeah,
Like that is to me, that is wild. That is how powerful our minds, which are regulated by our emotions, like that emotional fear response is burned in there
yeah,
somehow, somewhere. And if you don't realize it, so like in your case, if you haven't, the funeral was yesterday. If you haven't gotten a hold of all the emotions yet, they're tugging on, they're tugging on everything else that your brain's trying to do, right?
yeah, yeah. And there's other things that I'm realizing too, is that I haven't everything I'm always working and I do a lot of academic research on um related to the different health challenges I've had and for others and have helped them overcome it. But psoriasis is that bigger blocker. And I've done really so much. I think I'm down to maybe a couple things I haven't figured out that are still out there for me to test. But what I have come across is emotional release. And there are things that I've been holding on to our body, like that your body keeps score. And that's a book about how we hold on to different memories, different traumas, experiences. It's how we've processed it and interpreted and held on to it and how that carries over into other aspects of our life. And it impacts us in a big way, either day-to-day living, where we're triggered in some way, or for me, in terms of managing the discomfort, the pain, and try to get it out. So I realize there's other things that I'm holding on to. And just for me to have the reaction I did from somebody I haven't been with in a decade says a fucking lot. It means I've got to dig a bit, be, dig a bit deeper when it comes up, learn how to just breathe it out. Use breath work. It's really easy. Use prayer, use meditation, and be able to bring it back and just release it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have a hold on my body. What matters is and just being able to bring it back to myself because I give it weight and value, which is silly. As you said, I shouldn't. It doesn't matter because it's what matters is what I do today and who I'm helping and working with and what I do for my mission.
If you were my client, I would make you write all this down.
Tell me, no, tell me if, yeah, because this is what I'm taking notes based on what you're telling me because you do things with
I would
guys.
write down, you know, one of the headings going to be your friend. Write
Yep.
down everything that you're feeling, every aspect, every detail of the funeral, you know, all the best moments, all the worst moments, everything that you can think of related to him, and then the way, your emotional response to this entire scenario, put it on paper and read it back. And whenever you're able to do that, oh shit, then you've got it. You've got it. These emotions that are controlling you,
Hmm.
now you've got it, right? That's step one. You've got your hands around these emotions that are controlling you. And if there are actions that can be taken, that's step one. Now you can read it back and go, well, what can I do about that
Okay.
right there? Now that you've got it out of your head and you've got it on paper, you can read it back and is there an action that can be taken to address that thing right there? So I would do that with both. The big one's obviously your friend, but then you're also your ex. Whatever it is if you're having a hard time putting it in that jar, put it on paper first and it'll just go in that jar. And you'll
Okay.
realize how small it is.
No, that's good advice. I'll absolutely
So
do it.
the other thing that'll happen because of what you do, you have that material. You have that material for the next guy.
Mm.
So you're going to be able to flip back to that page in that notebook, and then whenever you're having that conversation with that guy, you can put yourself right back in that frame and sit in that frame with him whenever you pick up on that. That's the other value with writing it down
It's true.
is being able
Yeah,
to
that's
being able to capture this. It gets it out of you, puts it on paper, but it also, because of the man you are and the help you do, you may need to revisit this.
yeah,
And the more you the more you can frame yourself with them, the more value you have with them, the more you can understand.
true.
So I
And
would write it all
last
down.
last week I visited
You know, this is this is how I say that lightly because a lot of people resist it, but this is how, you know, top this is how songs are written. This is how movies are made. This is how blockbuster movies and blockbuster songs are made in these moments right here. They don't, you know,
it's
that's
it's
when it
true. Actually,
happens.
I was asking somebody else who's I guess wired like me, and we do similar things professionally and have shared similar challenges. And this is the plight of the neurodivergent entrepreneur. And something that came out. So two things. First is last week I sat down with a friend, a good friend who who knows my ex well, and was sharing this just to get it off my chest because I'm like, you know what, I'm just not gonna bottle this up. I'm working towards like releasing my emotions and getting this out because it has to get out instead of just being like, nah, it doesn't bother me, no big deal, move on and focus. Because some things are, it's easy to brush them off and move on because it's minor stuff, the scratch on your car, but then realize, okay, this isn't one of those things. I need to talk it out, go talk it out. But thought it was out and it keeps gnawing at me. And so that thing I was considering is, okay, you say it once or twice, you're venting. You say it more than that, you're looking for attention, for people that just act like the victim and don't do anything to change it. So in my own head, toying with that model or that paradigm, thinking, wait a minute, what's happening here? But some things are just big enough where you need to do that. And so writing it down is absolutely that. And it's going to come up, and to be able to go back to it, read it out loud and vent. And then the other part, so the discussion I was having with my colleague was asking about that artistic release. What do you do? This was 2 days ago, asking, what do you do for that artistic release when you in finding that balance? Because that used to be a big part of my life. And recently it's been composing music. I write, I draw, I get the urge, but then I look at it as frivolous. No, that takes away from what I need to do. So I need to focus on what I quote unquote should be doing. But it's all these things that help us balance this out and feed our soul. So that's awesome. I love that you said that these are the things that create those movies, those songs, and for me to take that and take that energy and put it into creation, and getting it out that way. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, even if it's just a really childish, tasteless suite of limericks. I had a thing in the army where I'd write really, really crass limericks and pass them up at mess dinners up to the head table. So known for that, but I got a kick out of it. So did everybody else. So
Yeah.
that's how I make it fun. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Cool.
So that's
Thank you.
that's how I do it. So personally, once I get it, this is an example of one of them. This was me. This is actually me working through a situation with the client where, I can feel myself. I could feel him struggling, and I could feel myself struggling with it. And so these are my own notes working with him. And then AI right now, AI right now is so beautiful, like to me in different ways. So I'll take all of this, and the first thing I do is show me in the Bible where this is addressed. And then I go
Mm,
read those Bible verses, right? And then I I will think on that a little bit, pray on that a little bit, and then I go back to the AI and I go, what is the most, what are the two or three most prevalent books that someone have written about this very topic right here?
okay.
And it spits them out. I just get on Amazon, order it, start reading. And right then once you do that, you're in the same frame as someone else who's been there and done that and has written about it. And your
Right.
mind just
It's gone
and
into the other side.
yeah, so now you're so far beyond like just sitting in your sorrow or beating yourself up or sitting in your corner alone trying to figure this out. You've taken it out of your mind, you've put it on paper, you've broken it down, you've searched spiritually, you find some solace there. Now you've gone and found the best book written on the topic and entered that man's mind in that same time frame and really indulged yourself, and now your answers are they're there, as opposed to just trying to do it on your own.
That's it. I find the biggest waste of time anyone you can grow through things, but why suffer more when you can learn how someone else did it and shortcut the process? Talk to somebody, read the book, research it, use the AI. don't try to do it yourself, which is why I wanted to share what was I was
Right,
struggling with, because it's been a hard couple of weeks, and people don't see it because you're in when you're a leader, whether it was in the military, in my various jobs as a leader, as an executive, you can't show, it's not that you can't show weakness, you show vulnerability, but after a certain amount, even in relationships as a man, is you lose your followers. People lose faith, trust, respect in you, and you lose that trust to be able to lead them and get them alive in a situation in the military as a first responder or other situations, or to be able to know that you will lead them safely and make the right decisions in them. So you don't have people to share that with. I can't share that with my kids. I can't share that with my romantic partner. I can't share that with certain friends because they just don't have the depth or emotional breadth of, it's great to be able to share it with somebody to get that, there it's all good and just get it off, but it's not having that productive conversation to how do we get me onto the other side of things.
right.
And I haven't, this is the conversation I haven't had in the last 3 weeks, and it'd probably be a conversation I would have had with a friend I lost, with AJ,
Right.
because yeah. um
Well, those are
yeah.
special. uh, Yeah, those are special people, and they're special for a reason. Um, and a part of being in a leadership role is that's the burden that you bear for that gift and that ability. Um, it's a thankless job.
It is.
You're just expected.
Yeah.
It's just expected of you. That's how you're viewed. Um, so you have to find, you know, a whole nother level of dealing with things that the most
Yeah.
don't. But as you learn it and do it and go through it, then you turn around and give it right back. You give it right
Yeah.
back to others who have power and other aspects of life. So you're giving back to these people who at some point they're good at something that maybe we're not good at, right? And
Yes.
it'll circle back around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just sharing about my friend AJ and realizing what he brought and what I miss, but also what I'm grateful for, and and even understand, what am I mourning? Why am I mourning so deeply? But to feel it. And I want to suggest we end the call early, because as I feel this, I want to have a good cry. I want to get this out and just feel what I think I've been holding in. So
Put it on paper, man.
yeah, I'll do
Put
it
it on,
all.
hang it
Yeah,
up. Let's hang it up and put it on paper right now while it's right there.
it's fresh. Okay. Thank you. Thank you
All right,
so
man.
much.
All right. Have a good one.